Hi Jane, this is your personal reading video. It's 2:22, so I thought this was the perfect time to record. I just think that's a really powerful number. I saw like a affirmation confirmation post on Instagram that said something like 222. This like means like your manifestations are basically coming into reality. So yeah. There we go. That is a good one to write. You could write, my manifestations are coming into reality, or will come into reality, or something. Or are in reality. It's like they are already manifested, of course. They are here. So, let me pull up your PayPal. Also, yeah, no, I'll stick with the reading. It's a lot of synchronicity, but alright. Let's see. Let's move back, and then, yes, I remember. So, first I'm just gonna flip cards and just like get some messages out to you. Your hard work is paying off. So I think you might be, give yourself a break sort of thing. Like, if you're trying to come to realizations or answers and stuff like that, but they're not coming, maybe you need a break. Maybe you've been working really hard and you need to like, not beat yourself up, like, and the energy is gaining momentum. Yeah, it's like the stuff you're doing is working. You just might honestly need a lot of rest. And that might include thinking about things, which might sound counterproductive, but I think if you just set the intentions that you'll know whatever it is you're wondering, and then don't think about it for a while, and allow yourself to rest physically, and then like also set that intention that since you're resting that you're not going to think super hard on it and everything. You can totally meditate and stuff, and you can think hard on it, but I think it's just like, there's just a message that says like, your hard work is paying off, so you can give your mind a break if your mind is giving you anxiety. Just anything to lower stress, anxiety, and things like that might help with like feeling very lonely and lost, because that happens with me sometimes. It's like suddenly I'm realizing like I'm still here, and that like that I do feel lonely and lost sometimes. Even some, like for me, like I finally have a bit more of a plan. It is feeling better, but it was like, okay, I'm gonna move in May, but it still feels lonely. I still feel lost, because I'm like, well, what am I doing in between that time? What if I mess it up somehow? And so I decided to just really zen out, give myself a break, and the break intensified my like loneliness and feeling lost and everything, but I got stuff done with the break. So it was like a half break. So that was my YouTube channel's break if you were here around that time. I went on a break around, I think like the 4th or 5th of February, or like, yeah, something like that, in the beginning of the month. Love me more if I tried. And so after I ended my break, I guess I ended it just on pretty much on Monday, but I was still processing a lot, and a lot of stuff still happened this week. But it's funny, now that I'm off my break with the YouTube channel, I'm like going on a break with my life. I'm like, I need to go on a break from this. And it's not just in the sense of like putting all my time into this work. In fact, I'm not doing that either. I'm not overworking myself. So yeah, I would suggest taking a break is what I get with these cards. be bold and make the first move. A time for healing. That's so funny. When I saw this card, I was like, I swear it was supposed to be a time for healing card. And it said be bold and make the first move. And I was like, well, first move towards healing, yeah. And then I was like, what's the card behind it? And it was the time for healing card. So I really think that's the message here. Balance spirituality and practicality. And then this is sort of what I was talking about, where like I took a break with the channel and I was like resting. Actually, when I took a break from the channel, a lot of things with my personal life I needed to get it back in balance. I needed to do stuff with my personal life. And then after I did stuff with my personal life, I was able to get my YouTube channel break back on, like, back in motion. But then my personal life, even though I got it back in place, it was just like, now my personal life is still full of anxiety and fear and all this stuff. And so I was just like, okay, I just need to let go of that. And, you know, I got my career life back in motion. I have my personal life back in motion. If you can split up your, like, this might not help you specifically, but I get the feeling this might. But if you can, like, split apart your day in specific ways, like, you know, like I have work and my personal life, and just kind of like look at your life like that, like as many different versions of you, and just see every single version of you is doing a good job. Just pretend that you're perfect. And what I mean by that is every version of you is doing a good job. Personal life's doing a good job, work life's doing a good job. So your school life, Jane Kim, is doing a good job. Your personal like life is doing a good job. I don't know, it's like really your own time. I don't know, your sexual life, your you can create a billion different things, even if you'd like to, you know. And all of those private and open, and like they're all open to yourself, no matter how private it is what I'm trying to get at. So just pretend every single moment of you is a different you that is doing a good job. You're doing a good job at something. And then if you put all those Jane Kims into one Jane Kim, and anxiety is in you, and worry and fear, loneliness, that means you're doing too good of a job with certain things, and like that is damaging or hurting the feelings or the ego of a different Jane Kim. So like, I'll just put myself into this as an example of how what I'm like talking about. So like, I have like work life and personal life. It was like, and then there's me, and I'm feeling like anxious and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I've got work life, but like personal life is like really feeling not good. So like, I went on a break from the YouTube channel because it's like, I'm already doing really good at that, but yet it's feeling weighed down. Yet the results in that reality are getting affected every time. I'm not catching up with people's YouTube comments. I'm not uploading a lot. I know I'm doing a good job with this. I know this is not the problem, basically, but there's other stuff in other versions of my life that seem to be bringing me trouble. So that might help. And then you're gonna have to take that really spiritual too, because then like sometimes if you do that and then you find the subcategory of what it is that doesn't feel good for you in your reality, basically, sometimes that can be like troublesome too, because then we'll just look at that and just like be dissatisfied, not be happy with that. But then it's like, all right, then you have to break that reality into a bunch of different Kims as well. Like, what part of it doesn't feel good? And then it breaks it down into like the feelings, basically. And I think that's kind of like a lot of where feelings come from. Just like really breaking down information. So I think that's what our feelings are. So if you're feeling lonely and lost, I think that's like really like important information that deserves to feel better about itself, yourself. So meditation can be really good really making that step of like, okay, it's a time for healing. Like, knowing you're not doing anything wrong with your life. Like, you don't have to get anywhere. All that matters, to me at least, and of course to you, is that like you're happy, that not just happy, but like that you're healthy, safe, that you feel you are in alignment and that you are doing well on your journey. And if you're doing well on your journey, like, I don't know, you deserve to feel like you have all the support that you need, that there are friends in this area, and that you do vibe with this town, and that where you do live does give you all the creative flow for your art, stuff like that. It's like, maybe you don't need to worry about what you're doing wrong, or think that you are doing something like that, which I already think you already get this, so I feel this is just a confirmation reading, because like I'm reading now this part where you brought up, where'd it go? There it goes. I always felt like I was doing a disservice to myself by working in a position that was way lower than what I am capable of, but I just don't quite know what job I would prefer. It's just like that. And then with everything, like, staying with your parents is definitely a service to your parents. Is it a service to yourself? Has it given you the art, like the creative flow for your art? Has it provided you like the situation where you really love your home life? Has it, is it possible that living with your parents right now is similar to jobs that you worked at, where you can do it, but it's a disservice to the quality of life you know you deserve to live? Yeah. And I know that, and that's not saying to like do anything or don't do anything, like, 'cause I also understand like the others are important and stuff, so if you feel really guided to stay at home right now, like, I also think that's a good idea, so long as you can rest and heal and trust that your hard work is paying off. So long as you feel in alignment with the energy and you feel that way, and you feel good about that, I think that there's nothing wrong with your living situation and what you're doing, and that there is nothing wrong with doing that, but the only thing that would bother me is if it was taking a toll on your personal journey. I think we all deserve to go to our most personal, highest journey. Let's see what else comes out. Work through your fears. So that might be the song just said fear. I don't know if you heard it. So I'll go back. Yeah, Peridot. We've all got something to fear. So while you're at this place, while you're with your parents, it's like you can know that you're surrounded by love, and if you somehow don't feel that way, you can know that you are surrounded by love spiritually, and feel that energy through meditation or through affirmations, or just through feeling it, like your clairsentience. But I'm getting, as you work through your fears, it's like you do know this is all setting you up for like something really amazing. That's what I'm getting here. I'm getting you're a very optimistic person. Like, when I first heard from you, even though, yes, you're like talking about like a reading about like wanting clarity and things, it's just like the fact that you're wanting clarity, advice, messages from spirit, and then like, I don't know, I really relate in some ways. I live at home with my parents. My mom is really sick, and the household definitely seems to benefit from me being here, but I don't seem to benefit from being here. So I definitely am manifesting a way out of here. And like, the creative blocks. I don't know if I wrote this to you, but the same day you messaged me, or these last few days, I've been trying to write lyrics down, and just lyrics aren't coming up for me, and so I'm just like letting that go right now and finding different openings for my creativity. So I've been working through my fears, and a lot of my friendships kind of collapsed. Some of them was on me and my poor plannings. Some of it was on others. At the end of the day, it's all my own journey, and like I manifested whatever happened, so I take responsibility. But where things went and how I felt, it's really put me in an interesting spot now where like my support system, my friends, I had to let it all go. And that sounds sad, but it's like I did have to. I had to let it all go and ask myself, like, do I want to feel lonely just because I don't feel like I have what I thought I need from my current friendships? And I decided, like, no, I'm just gonna trust that if this isn't meant to be, that the more people that I meet will be people that I am meant to trust, am meant to be friends with, even if it's temporary, even if it's just for a day, even if it's just for a little bit. I'm gonna basically be people's friends at the time that I feel like, yes, we're friends. And then even if things explode in a way where that doesn't seem to be the case in the 3D world anymore, I'm going to still know that they were my friends at that time, and that they're still my friends for eternity because of that. But that as my friend, they will let me go, and they will let me do my own thing, even if they don't want to, and even if I don't want to. But everyone involved is like, okay, if this is what you need, like, for the sake of your journey, like, okay, let's do it. Like, and so letting go, I've learned, is really important when it comes to lots of things, and that will help you let go of your fears and work through your fears. Letting go of stuff, it's scary, but you have to do it. Conclusions are within reach. So I think that's just continuation. Look at the bigger picture. Yeah, it's like whatever doesn't work is allowing space for what will. Don't let pride get in the way. I really think it's the other one. Emotions are, it's a bit of both. Fire, hold your fire. And I don't remember if you told me what sign you are. You might be a fire sign, but if you're not, like, this wants to talk about fire. Also, this song is called Hold Your Fire, but like I was thinking that because Leo. So, a fire sign, I don't want to like give a specific like prediction, but like fire energy actually seems to be through the roof at this time. So yeah, it is that creator's block. You know you have creativity, you know you've got a lot of fire and passion. It's on hold right now because you have so much of that, but it's other aspects of your elements that might be lacking now because you have too much fire. You have too much creativity, which is not true. I just mean, if you look at the tarot as 4 elements, you know, earth, water, air, fire. Earth is your like body, it's physical, it's earth. Air is like your thoughts, it's the sword's energy, it's air, movement of those thoughts and getting things circulating. Water is your feelings, it's your heart, so it's like allowing the flow of the tunnels that are being circulated from your thoughts, from the air. And then there's fire, which is like your spirit, your energy, your intention. And so, yeah, your spirit, your energy, everything that's running really high. And it might be your water that is lacking. You might literally need more water. This might just be a message also for me to drink some water. And I'm gonna have to fill this up because I'm almost out. And of course, this is a private reading. I'll let you know, or you'll see it's a private reading because it's called Unlisted. And I know I shared a lot of details, so just let me know. But if you would be, if this feels like a really good reading to you, and yeah, I'll just email you later. So we're gonna continue with the reading. Any clarity, advice, messages from Spirit? So I think that is the clarity from there. And I'll just look into a few extra messages for any other clarity or advice messages. Page of Wands. There's a dangerous kind of cool about you. So we got fire energy right away. So Spirit wants to talk about that. The Sun, the more fire energy. Yeah. So like what I was talking about, the alternate versions of yourself, it's like you definitely don't need to worry about the creative version of you, the fiery part of you. If you want to split those versions or the parts of your day, instead of the day, you can split it into your elements. That's what I like to do. I like to look at my elements sometime like, okay, I've got water, earth, fire, air. What does it seem like I have too much of right now? What does it seem like is hurting right now? The ones that are hurting, it's because there's too much. And then when there's too much, it feels like there's too little because you're picking up on a feeling of lack of some other element. So they're all connected, of course. Looks so pretty from afar. The Nine of Swords. Yeah, there's a lot of, for some reason, fears when it comes to your fire energy. But like, I'm definitely getting that there's nothing wrong with your fire energy. But my belief in general though is that like we're all like perfect the way we are, and it can just be difficult to feel that way all the time. Whoa, the Devil's energy. Yeah, there might be negative attachments to this. Death and Four of Swords. And it's like, yeah. So then that's what that was. Negative attachments to certain things, certain fears, beliefs about your own worthiness. And then it's like, you know that this needs to change, that you want to transform from that, of course. I think we are all always like, yeah, I want to overcome this Devil's energy. Yes, I want to overcome this Nine of Swords. Whenever like scary things or painful things, lonely things, sad things, then the more negative emotions come up. I feel like a lot of the time we're like, I don't want this anymore. How do I how do I transform this? And it's like, you need to stop believing in it being a negative thing. You have to stop believing that your feelings are a bad thing, that your thoughts are the bad thing here. It's like, okay, let's really pretend and make it seem like our thoughts, our feelings, everything are the most evil thing ever. Do we really seem like the bad guy in our stories anyways? Let's go ahead and observe. And then most times you will just notice whether or not, yeah, okay, sure, like there's some things where you were doing things that you can see hurt others or hurt yourself. It's like, if even once you accept all that, you'll still see like, hold on a second. Like, you'll be able to observe, like, and think about it and be like, oh, I get it now. That's where that's coming from. It's like, that's not a bad thing. So an example, like, maybe, like, you're used to always saying sorry all the time. Or, like, what's a different example? Here's some, like, here's an example I've like experienced a lot. Like doing something and just thinking like, oh, like I'm stupid. Like, oh, like I shouldn't have done that. Like, oh, like, you know, after things happen, or like, oh, I don't get it. I never seem to get it and stuff. It's like, all right, let's go ahead and let go of this and accept, like, all right, let's just pretend like that's the worst thing ever or whatever, and then like let's evaluate it, and then you'll see like it's not the worst thing ever. It's just feeling that way. I don't know, it's really hard for me to put into words what I'm trying to explain right now. It's like getting to see yourself from another perspective, which I guess we talked about, and it's just like if you just look at everything from like there's no right or wrong, there's no good or bad, like love or evil or something. I mean, there's love, but like that there's no like opposite to that other than lack, then it'll be clear to see that whatever the devil's energy is an overcompensation of thoughts or feelings about some other part of you that deserves to feel better. I don't know if that made sense, but I think we all sort of like know what I mean by the whole like feeling bad about yourself and then like choosing to accept that feeling and then like looking at it and seeing like, wait, actually like I don't need to feel bad about myself. Like, hold on a second. I should just be the winner every time. Not in the sense of a competition of like there's win and loss, but like for your own self, the idea of like, you know, like the Five of Swords, like why do I feel like I'm always losing or something one way or another? It's like no one deserves to feel like a loser basically. So that's what I'm trying to get at here. So it's just like even like if you like saw yourself in the most like harsh light of the aka the devil's energy with this anxiety, then it's like still know that you still deserve to feel like a winner. You still deserve to have like good things happen for you on your journey. Like you still deserve the highest journey for yourself, experience for yourself. So it's like knowing you deserve a transformation from all that. And I think just knowing all this might have just helped clear a lot of blockages for some reason. And so let's see, what does Spirit have to say about where is my soul family? Refocus, inner child, spring. So I'll show you these cards real quick. So we got refocus, inner child. They're both facing the same way. This is focus on your inner child. Do that. Refocus onto the child within. Not in the sense of your child within has to be like, I need the creativity from you, but focus on your inner child. Are you like abusing your inner child by like asking it over and over like, give me creativity? But like, you know, so it's like sometimes your inner child doesn't want to like play and do stuff and create. Sometimes it wants to have like respect or rest or feel love. And so I'm getting this might be the spring energy. This might be what's blossoming. That maybe what you're picking up on right now is that there's a child within you that is feeling like this, that is feeling abused, that needs rest. And so it's like you're seeing that you are transforming so you can be more in alignment with hearing your inner child's needs. So pretty pretty specific message, so I hope that resonates. That resonates with me. And yeah, feel your inner child's grief. I like to, so the whole versions thing, I like to just look at myself as a child. Like, what would I say to myself? What would I say to, like, so if I was someone else, what would I be saying to this kid named Son going through these problems? What would I want kid Son to know? If you're just a child all the time, like, what would you want yourself, who's a child, to know? And that, I think, is the importance. I think that helps define, do we deserve to be feeling this way? Do we deserve to be treated this way by someone? Because people put in so many logistics of like, whoa, we're logical adults, we're people. Like, from my experience, that's just people ignoring the part of you that's a child. The part of you that has feelings, the part of you that can get angry or want to cause chaos or want to cry. Yeah. So, spring. It looks like once you feel better about your inner child, like many children, you can still have fun and feel like not lonely at times. Inner children have imaginary friends. Inner children, their friend is this remote. Their friend is this grinder. Their friend is this crystal. Like, everything is your friend. And so that's where your soul family is. But then I'm getting that will just help you manifest soul family, you know, in physical form, like friends, people. I'm not trying to say like you just will never meet people. That's impossible. There's like 7 billion people here on the planet. So, vibrations. But it's the point of feeling the vibrations that is going to pull you into alignment with that reality. So I am shifting into a reality. You can write these intentions like I'm shifting into a reality or I am surrounded by soul family. Compromise. This is compromising with your inner child. Yeah. Thousands of years of fighting to protect the human race. So then in a whole different outlook, if you were to look at your inner child in the perspective of your inner child is always just that part of you that's fun and having and never lonely and stuff, your own friend, then it's like that lonely feeling might actually help and heal by compromising it. That can be like, for example, it might just be your inner adult, the you part here that feels lonely. Not because your inner child is lonely, but because you're like giving your inner child reason to feel lonely because you're not being there for your inner child. So that is what I'm getting with the compromise card. Still not giving up. Do 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 do. So I just love it when this card comes up. It's the Twin Flame card. That's so sweet. And with spring, so that's what I was getting here as well. I didn't say this part yet, but I was feeling like, so I asked, where is your soul family? And I was intending, you know, that you actually find them, not just to tell you, oh, you don't need to find them in 3D. Like, you just feel them, and that's it. Like, that was not the intention I set when I asked the question. So that's where the third card came in. So what I was originally getting was refocus on your inner child, and then the blossoming of soul family, the manifestations of these friendships being ready to come into 3D will be here. And I was thinking, you know, since I don't know if it's winter for you wherever you're at, but it's winter for me now. So then very next season is spring, and it's Pisces season. So we're coming into spring. I don't know if seasons are all the same everywhere. I actually don't know anything about science, geography, history, like like a lot of things. It's not good, I guess, but like I actually don't think that. I just like to laugh about that because sometimes a lot of people like I don't want anyone to think like I know everything or something. I definitely don't. I just want to say that and laugh about it because I just want to let everyone know And I'm gonna ask you later, like in email, and like ask your permission if it's all right that I made this a public reading. If this is stuff, if the information I shared is okay with you being shared, because I just think this is a really good reading. But and it would make me look good. But obviously completely up to you. Like I don't need to share this either. I already feel really good. Like I know, like I can give these messages again and again, and I've been doing this on my channel, so it's really a personal choice, up to you. It's up to what you feel about this. But anyways, I was getting that soul family is gonna really manifest. Oh yeah, sorry, I went off a tangent. So it's winter for me right now, and so the next season over is spring, and then Pisces, I think, is the season that goes into spring. So and then the twin flame card to me confirmed that you will be in union, if not with people in the 3D, you'll definitely have fully created this really good relationship with yourself where you are in union with yourself. That is what you need to manifest people in alignment with you. You have to be in alignment with yourself. If you're in alignment with yourself, all this stuff I talked about the compromise will have already occurred. You would have had already felt these vibrations, and everything within you feels balanced and cared for, and the feeling of lack, the feeling of loneliness and things like that, for the most part, are gone. But like, I know, like, I'm like in alignment, or like, you know, it's a feeling as well to trust you're in alignment and stuff, and like I'm always trying to come into alignment, but like even so, like it's still difficult for me to like not feel like this sometimes. And that's because this stuff you can feel that way even if every part of you is doing everything good, which is what I believe is the case. I believe we're all always just like doing good because we're just on our own journeys. And then it's just like, yeah, it can be really difficult to identify the part of you that is not feeling good about this. And from what I've experienced, one of the biggest things in my journey is, if I've been trying really hard looking inside myself to find it and I can't, I will then, because usually by looking inside myself, I find what's going on with my outside world. Like, usually people are able to identify what part of their reality doesn't make them feel good. But sometimes that can be difficult to see. Like, this differs for everyone. For me, I'm really good at being able to see when people make me feel like garbage, when I don't feel good about the way someone is talking to me or the words they gave me. Even if they don't see it, sometimes that's the problem, that I get it, that they don't realize they're hurting me as much as, or like I don't even know if they like are that conscious of it, whatever the case may be. It's like, I just wanted to clarify all that, because like the last thing I want to leave off on is like, I don't want you to feel like, or anyone to feel like, that this just means you're why you're taking abuse, or you are why bad things are happening. No, I'm trying to say, like, if you feel basically what you identify as bad feelings are happening in your life, it's like, then that is over compromising something. That is over compromising some reflected version of you that would not be experiencing that. I hope that made sense. But anyways, yeah, I'm just getting, like, by springtime, you'll have come into union with yourself. And I think with that energy, you are gonna manifest. Yeah, look at this. There's soulmate. You're gonna realize, what was I worried over? There they are. Like, of course they were here. And I think that feeling is gonna it's gonna bring back those feelings of grief, not in the sense of like, well, why did I have grief? No, it's gonna, those feelings of like, wow, if I gave up back then, I wouldn't have met this person now. And then like all this grief turns into relief. It's just like the sweetest thing ever. And healing, yeah, and it's like, and it came from you. It came from you healing. It was like all you had to do was find yourself and realize like that you could be your own best friend, and that you're not gonna call yourself the bad guy here. No part of you is gonna call yourself the bad guy here anymore. And it's like when you do that and you take any decision or action, you know you've always got your back. So any fear of like, what if I lose this person? What if I lose that person? What if I don't meet my soul family? What if this? What if I'm the bad guy here? What if I'm doing all this thinking I deserve good things, but I don't? None of that matters if you're your own best friend. Why would you say that to your own best friend? You wouldn't. To your own inner child. So I'm getting like when you do that, so I am getting you are really going to meet somebody. I already got the spring card. So that seems to be where they are. They're within you, as cheesy as that sounds. And they are always here for you. So I know we can't like predict the future necessarily and stuff. And timelines are always changing. But there also is fate, of course. All that stuff. But the point is, I'm still going to set the intention. Like, when does the energy seem to be that this is that all, like with that, let's see like what happens with the timeline, with the time frame of like your 3D reality of connecting or reuniting with these soul family members. And I mean reuniting even if you met them for the first time this lifetime. I believe we've all been here eternity, so anyone you meet ever is just reuniting with somebody. So let's see. Let's look at the time of this now. Cycles. So there's always going to be cycles of this. So you are always going to be meeting new people. You are always going to be meeting more and more soul family. Karmic partner. And that means needing to include the whole world. Include the people that you love that are soul family, but they're karmic partners. They're karmic soul family. They're people that there's a lesson to learn here about the way they are making you feel or the way you are making them feel. And it's always about yourself. So truly, this is about how is it that they're making you feel. Yes, you can find your own karma in it because we are our own karma. Our experiences are our own karma. That's my belief. Totally fine if you feel differently. But it's just like, no matter what it is, it's like, yes, that's included in all this. So yeah, you're going to meet more soul family really soon. Is it going to end up like more of a karmic situation? Perhaps. But at the end of the day, like, this is to help you. You're going to keep growing. Notice your life that even though people have come and gone, you have continuously moved forward. You have continuously learned that you deserve better and better for yourself. Even if you can even if through all what you learned, you can trace all the way to a childhood moment of something that you're like, well, that was like that person that I treated, they did not deserve that. That's of course. And it's like that's valid, like whatever it is you feel about that. But it's like you still, I don't know where that came from. That was just me, but like, what was I trying to say with that? 1 second. I'm losing it. Come back. Okay, cycles. Okay, so even ones where you can like see the karma as just a purely like you hurt the other person thing, that doesn't mean you have to beat yourself up over that. It's like that must be connected to all this stuff. It's just really specific. So however this is resonating for you, I'm just gonna continue the next thing. So then it's like, with that in mind, commit to your karma might be linked to, you're committed to people leaving. You're committed to the idea that you're going to meet more soul family that is not going to stay. So then you are going to get in these cycles of manifesting karmic partners until you keep learning that you deserve people who stay. You deserve better than that. That's kind of what I was trying to say with the example I was giving earlier, but it's like my own specific life, and I don't know how to put it. There's a childhood friend. It's totally fine. There's like a billion people by this name. But like, nah. Well, I don't know. I have this weird thing like where I really like don't know if people feel comfortable with their name being like said in like me talking about my life to like a whole like large public audience. So I guess I'll keep his name private. I'll just change it. No, I'm just not. I'm just gonna stop talking about my situation because I don't know how to relate it to this. It's really hard because it'd take like an hour or like forever. I don't know. But anyways, that's what I'm getting here. That's what these cycles might be manifesting as well. And so obviously you're learning as you go, but that's what I was trying to get at. So even though you might keep running into situations where people get cycled out, I don't think this is just that. I think eventually you will meet like soul family, like that's not just karmic basically. And it's defined by your self-worth. It's defined by what you are committed to what you are going to experience when people come into your life. And then even if it's someone where you're like, you know that with the person, you trust that person, and then something happens where you feel compromised, where you feel that they did something that you didn't deserve to feel, and suddenly you're questioning like the whole connection, that is your self-worth talking. And then it can be really complicated and confusing, and then where you end up on your journey with that will also speak measures. I'll flip a few more cards before I say anything else. Soulmate is back, yeah. So it's like if everyone who is karmic can be your soulmate, and everyone who is a soulmate. Now, there's a lot of people who really believe there's just one twin flame, that you have one twin flame if you have a twin flame. But I believe everyone is my twin flame, and that I am my twin flame, because I am the universe. And I know that the whole point of like having twin flame soulmate karmic is so that you can identify between people you meet or something like that. I don't really know what the point is. I could see it in the sense of like being able to describe a feeling of how you feel with the person. It's like a type of relationship, and I just think when you meet people sometimes like you will notice that right away they already are one of these connections for you, that the strength of it is already at a certain point. And so like basically what I'm trying to get at, because I'm basically trying to say like if you meet karmic people and they remain karmic, that you need to get away basically. But if they are karmic and they ever come back into your life, or if you're like, I think you're never gonna like stop being karmic for me basically, and you step away. This is me describing my own experience just in the last few days. Sometimes through that, the person will show that yeah, they're karmic, but they still understand, like they want to be soulmates. And obviously it's like, even when two people love each other, sometimes it's just karmic anyways. So that's where it's important. But like what I'm trying to get at is like you might pick up the energy that that like the karma was cleared some way or another. If you ever feel karma between you and another person is cleared, of course you can just like come back together. So this is like, commit to the spiritual aspect of all this stuff, of everyone you ever met. Commit to the idea that you haven't left anyone behind, and that no one has left you behind, but people have just gotten more in alignment with their own journeys, because their own journeys will surround them with energy of people who treat them the way they know they deserve to be treated, the way they know they are going to be treated. So it's just more like supply and demand. What is your demand to the universe? That you're treated well, that you have everything you need, that you have the life that you know you deserve, like all this stuff like that is good. And that if that's the demand, then the supply, energy, manifestation, intention setting, it will be there for you. Yeah. And things like fear, doubt, painful emotions like loneliness, and the feeling of like nothing's working or like losing, stuff like that, lack. That might be a blockage on your supply, a blockage on the supply, which is like your belief. So there is this really cool video. So my acupuncturist recommended to me this person named Abraham Hicks, and I listened to a video, and that's where I'm kind of getting this from. I just thought it was really cool. Like, she wasn't talking necessarily about like I don't know where it is anymore. I'll find the video, but it was just like talking about abundance or manifesting abundance. And I just really liked what, like, everything she said. I was just like, yeah, I feel very in alignment with this stuff. Like, that makes sense to me. But anyways, that's your reading. And so, yeah, the first thing I kind of talked about was like, so if I was to put a time period, it just looks like cycles, but you are going to meet some like soulmate person. I don't, like, it looks like you may have like your own challenges with this person, just like how we do with anyone. You know, I feel as though I met my twin flame like a year and about 2 months ago, and I learned like perhaps that's the most karmic connection you will ever meet, is what I learned from it. So that just goes to show karma doesn't mean that you can't be in each other's lives, but it does mean that there's something you need to learn here about the way you are feeling, about the way the other person's feeling. And if it's about the way the other person's feeling, it's still about you, because it'll reflect into your world somehow or another. Yeah. So this is like a little bit of like what you might experience with more soul family that you're gonna meet along the way. And me too. And I think this is a lifelong process. I don't think this will ever like stop, because we're always learning. And so the feelings of like lack, loneliness, this really heavy energy, like from the start of your journey till now and for always, you're always going to be working at not giving power to feeling bad about yourself, to feeling like the bad guy. My true belief is like we all deserve to feel like the hero. And so I think that's what everyone's personal life is about, feeling like a hero. That's what I feel about myself anyways. And like, I think that if you feel like a hero, that, I don't know, things feel that, I don't know, something about that. I just like it. I just want to be a hero. And like, I don't really like just mean that like that can become this. There's times where it's like, oh, I just want to feel good about myself. Like, I just want people to treat me well, you know? Like, there's a lot of different things that I also just want. But that hero thing, that was just in terms of the devil's card. So, hope you enjoyed this reading. Jane Kim, thank you so much for purchasing a reading from me. It was a pleasure. I'm sending so much love and light, and I'd love to hear your feedback and to know if I can make this like a public reading, if you feel comfortable with that, if you feel that people might be guided to hear these messages. All right, take care.